IEBC itself. I just want to note for the record that when I went to vote in my village in Kapedo, the system was very seamless, went on very fine. All the equipments worked perfect. And actually I can say at this point is that the problem was not, or even has never been, the casting of the ballot itself. And I want to congratulate Kenyans, or to thank Kenyans for at least going into this election peacefully, because our party so far has not gathered any incidents of violence during the voting itself. Although now we hear there are some pockets of possible violence. However, you see, as it's been said, those who cast the vote decide nothing, but those who count the vote decide everything. And therefore that brings us to the question of the integrity of the vote itself. How protected is the vote? So the question that as a reason, and this has been agreed by all the political parties actually that met yesterday, NASA, Jubilee and Third Way Alliance, through our agents here, that there is indeed a problem with the transmission of the results. That nobody is denying. And the reason there is a problem with the transmission of the results is because what I think we've been fed since yesterday is not being backed by the relevant forms 34A. Now, I just want to remind Kenyans of our political history so that we don't forget. This seems to remind us again of Form 16A in 2007, 2008. So, because of the fact that there is no evidence that backs the results we have so far, and that we do not have these forms yet, I think then there is a question around the credibility of this transmission of these results. And just so that people don't think we are talking out of context, Article 81 of the Kenya Constitution speaks about free and fair elections that must be administered in an efficient, transparent, and accountable manner. Now, the accountability of this election can only be justified if we have all the Forms 34A, or at least a verification of it. So what I have done as a candidate, and this is something I'm encouraging my other competitors, contestants, is to come here themselves, as I have tried now, to actually check the system, whether actually we are able to even sample Forms 34A. And my agent has actually confirmed to me that after a meeting yesterday, these forms still is a problem. They were promised that the forms would be available. Chiloba has again promised now, at least in a while back, that these forms will be available. They will be available so that at least we can sample. I know it may not be humanly possible in the context of time that we have, that we are able to verify all the, I think, 40,800 Form 34As. So, but for us, what will help, in moving this country forward is at least if we are given the opportunity to even be able to sample, even in a couple of, we think we are comfortable with. I think if we sample at least some, maybe not all, at least it will give some bit of confidence in the system of transmitting the results. And of course, I don't want to take us back to what may have happened to Chris Msando and all that, but I think it goes to the question of whether the transmission itself is something we can actually be comfortable with. And I say this because what is at stake really, is not necessarily the outcome of the results itself, or it's actually the country Kenya that is at stake for me. And like I say, we need to go back to 2007, 2008, what happened. So for us as a party, and for me as a candidate, it is not the announcement of a winner or declaration of somebody to have won election that is important for me right now. What is important for me is that Kenya must remain peaceful, and Kenyans must remain peaceful, that we don't take our country back to the of 2007 or 2008. Of course, I'm worried that already there are pockets of violence that are being reported. So I want to insist that BC will do that and not rush to declare anybody a winner or others as having lost. Again, this is really backed within our own laws. IBC has 7 days within which, from yesterday, within which to announce the results. So again, going back to Form 34A, it is important that at least a semblance or some critical verification is done, even if it's not in all the polling stations, polling stations, that even within these 6 days that are remaining before the winner is announced, that we be given a chance to actually be able to do that. And I can tell you also for a fact that I'm also receiving now reports from our agents on the ground, and you know, some of them, first of all, were frustrated from entering the polling stations, and up until now, not all of them have actually signed Form 34A. As of this morning, I've been receiving calls from some of our agents that they are being asked now to come and sign Forms 34A. Again, you see there is a question. So to rush to actually make an announcement as to who has won may be very problematic. Second, lastly, I also want to really encourage all other presidential candidates, the 7 others. I want to ask each one of them to actually visit this National Tallying Center, speak to their agents, like I've taken time to speak to my agent. He has taken me around, you know, the system and what's happening, and so therefore, so that we're able to understand how the system works. But and that's exactly why I'm saying that following a meeting that was called by IBC yesterday of at least three main parties that were represented here, NASA, Jubilee, and Third Way Alliance, in which they admitted actually there's a problem with the transmission. So I would like every presidential candidate to be able to understand how the system works. I have gone through it, and this is why I'm sharing my preliminary thoughts on it. We are now putting together our final report, both from our experience here at the National Tallying Center, but also from our agents on the ground are telling us, and we should be able to give a more comprehensive report, maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. And we hope we'll be able to do this within the 6 days before IBC eventually declares anybody a winner in this race. I think that's all I want to say for now. I just want to encourage Kenyans to actually remain peaceful. The results have not been officially declared as official, so there's really no reason why people should be there should be anxiety out there as to who has lost or who has won. As far as I'm concerned, nobody has lost so far and nobody has won so far. IBC has confirmed that to be the case. So let's keep peace. Let's not take Kenya back to 2007. I'm actually going to speak to a couple of the other presidential candidates and encourage them to actually come here and visit the National Tallying Center. I've already spoken to 2 of them, and they promise that they may come. But this is just an appeal. Don't sit out there. Get involved and see what's happening. I also want to encourage those who are supposed to be, in the lead in this race, not to just wait to be declared either a winner or a loser, or to actually come here and see for themselves. I have tried the system myself. It has not worked. Since, I mean, my agent also has confirmed to me it hasn't worked since last night. So we will keep on trying again. And for me, that's the satisfaction I'm actually looking for. If I'm able to verify, to sample at least a number of the Form 34As in a number of polling stations, then I'll be able to make a more comprehensive statement as to which way to go for the country. Thank you very much.